very thankful. Don't take these nights for granted, and I'll be the first coach to acknowledge they don't happen without special human beings, and that's what we got right here. I mean, I've known Steven since he was in 7th grade, and he's the best shortstop in America, and took another step. It wasn't just a great college player this weekend. That's what a major league player looked like in the batter's box, and was the reason that our offense, played it close to its capability. With Jared, he made a decision to come back this season for this and this opportunity ahead of us next week, and to be at the front of it, and that's what he's been. And 3 years, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in the bucket. Couldn't be prouder of the person that he is, the leader he is. Obviously, he's a great player, and just very thankful, that he made that decision. And it's just the way that it is now. Every summer, one guy tips the scales of whether you can actually get there or not, and Anthony was that guy. And from one phone conversation, and you pair the attitude, the character, the conviction, and watch him pitch, it's like we have to have this guy. Like, there's no way we could not have him at LSU this year. And just very thankful. I think these are 3 great guys to have up here that exemplify what this team is, and I always want to go. This is the best place in the world. It's the only place in the world for me. I really wanted these guys to go because they'd earned it. And whether we won 2 games this weekend or not, they earned a trip to the College World Series, and I can't wait to go chase a national championship with them.
Coach, thank you. Stephen, Anthony, Jared, again, congratulations. I know it's late. Appreciate your time. Congrats on the win, and good luck in Omaha. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Like a natural.
All right, guys. Let's go. All right, we usually open with a statement with Coach. He had made some stops along the way. We appreciate the players being ready to go. And, Coach, thank you for letting us start with them. 10th Super Regional title for LSU, 20th College World Series appearance. Coach, congratulations. If you want to make a statement about the game, and then we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, thank you. And sorry for being a little late. Again, I mentioned not taking this for granted. It's a special night out there. And as I said, I just really wanted these guys to achieve this. I feel like they've earned it. It's been a great 12 months, and honestly, it started with a lot of heartbreak in Chapel Hill last year. Like, that team played as good as it possibly could to win that regional, and we didn't. We came up a little bit short, and you look around after a few days, and there's only 12 returning players from last year's team because of the draft and other things. And then we have this great freshman class that you have to get them through the draft. Obviously went to work in the portal. And then, those 12 guys I mentioned, though, they were the right 12 guys. They were like Jared. They were like Steven. And taking all that collection of talent and making it a team. Very tough, very together, very team over me. That was kind of our motto for the year. And I told them after the game, I'm super proud of them because the rewards of toughing together were out there on that field tonight. And like I said, I can't wait. They're worthy, and I can't wait to go chase a national championship with them.
Thank you, Coach. All right, we'll start with questions right back here. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Megan Glover, WGNO in New Orleans. I know you don't want to make this moment about you. You just talked about how much you wanted this for the guys, but this has personally been a special run for you, 500th career win, and then your second trip to Omaha since you've been here at LSU. How special is this moment for you?
Like I said, I don't take it for granted. Very proud. It's a big life change coming out here, and I know where I'm at, and I know what I'm entrusted with, and I give it my entire life, and I give it to these guys, and they give it back to me, and it's so fun and exciting and rewarding to see all those people so passionate and thankful for the effort that everybody in this program, that everybody cares so much about, be appreciated. And it was an awesome night, and just a lot of gratitude, very thankful.
Here, Coach.
Jay, back here. You've leaned heavily into this freshman core all season, but the last couple weeks, Derek, Kaysen, Cooper Williams tonight, these guys are really coming through for you in some big time moments. What have you learned about that core group over the last couple weeks, and what they're going to have to do for you here when you go to Omaha?
Yeah, I think moving forward, they just need to be themselves. Coach Burtman, had a thing he said to his players that if you're here, all you can do is all you can do, and that's good enough. And all Kaysen Evans can do is what he can do, and that's plenty good enough for me. And Cooper and Derek and Kate Aaron Beatty and William Schmidt, John Pearson. It's a special group. It doesn't happen all the time, and nobody in our league plays freshmen. They just don't. We do. And they play pretty darn good baseball. And I'm proud of them for contributing on a team this good. To contribute as much as that group has is awesome. And they're the foundation of this thing moving forward. And I'm really happy that it's another reason. Being there is so important, that's the front line of this thing as we move forward past 2025. And so they're going to get the full gamut and be ready to lead in a way that you have to have if you want to have the program that we have.
Jay, 28 runs on just 18 hits, but lots of walks and hit by pitches and reaching on errors and all that sort of thing. Do you try to incorporate all that into the offensive approach? And if so, I see you're nodding your head. If so, how difficult is that when the stakes are so high to make everybody's so eager to get a hit and get the extra base hit to get everybody to be patient and wait for those opportunities to come?
Yeah, something I take a lot of pride in is trying to have our team play its best when it matters the most. And I think one of the beauties about playing and coaching here is every game really matters. And we use the regular season and call it a 56-game playoff for two reasons. It's not a given that you're going to be in the NCAA tournament. You have to earn your way there, so you have to respect the game every night. But then when you get here, if you treat every game like that, nothing changes. And I take a lot of pride in we play our best when it matters the most. And, that's been over the course of a few different schools. And it really shined tonight. I didn't need to motivate them tonight. We needed to take a lesson we learned from last weekend, apply it to today, and then we needed to execute our plan. And so we laid out a simple plan, and they executed great. And then it manifests itself into free bases, extra base hits, hitting with runners in scoring position, and putting up 12 runs. And there were so many key at-bats in that deal tonight. It would be a game that you would want to put on a tape and show future teams, like, this is how we play offensive baseball at LSU.
In the back, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, a lot was made this week about the conditions and the heat and everything that went into this week. But every step of the way, your team looked to be the more conditioned of the two. What can you say about the work that Chris Martin has done with the staff and the work that the guys have put in to be ready for a spot like this in June?
Yeah, appreciate you bringing that up. Chris Martin is our strength and conditioning coach, absolute difference maker. When I hugged him on the field, that's what I said. I was like, dude, difference maker. And he has an unbelievable ability to connect with the players. He's super invested, unbelievable at player relationships, very intelligent. He was a very good college pitcher himself at a good program, so he understands culture. And he's got it going on. And he's a big part of this thing. I made that hire personally, no other help, and we were super diligent in that because we needed a star in that position. Like, the SEC is the jungle, and we're only playing big, strong, physical, well-conditioned beasts. Basically, it's a war every weekend, and we match some of that in recruiting. But you have to match it there. And, like I said, the tough and together piece, you develop a lot of toughness in the weight room. And then, as far as the conditions, man, that was hot. Like, I stood on the top step, gave signs, and talked to players, and I was a little wiped out yesterday, to be honest with you. And so I started thinking about Luis Hernandez. What an effort that was. Steven Milan, what an effort that was. Kate Anderson, Anthony today, man. I mean, it was not easy. And I think all of that matters. But I just think it was toughness, and to us, toughness is just being able to focus on your job no matter what else is going on. And these guys did that and did it both mentally and physically.
Right here in the front, Coach.
Coach, 2 years ago you talked about how the arc of building that team was really started the season before in your first season at LSU. From the moment you won the national championship to now, how do you view that arc of change, I guess, and development, and how does that sort of, is that similar at all to the first time you had to do this?
Yeah, I think there's some differences. I think the nature of college baseball has changed, where you're kind of building your team 1 year at a time. Obviously, the 23, that'll go down as one of the greatest teams in college baseball history. And, there it was, had some really good foundational pieces, and we had to get tasked to go get the areas that were deficient in the program. And we did that, with Paul and Tommy and on and on and on. And then this freshman class, we started on literally the day I got the job. So I hadn't even coached a game yet. And, Derek Carriel was committed here. Kason Evans, September 1st is the first day you can call juniors. I probably called him every day of the month of September. I canceled a trip to go see one of my best friend's wedding to make sure he was coming back on a second visit and was committing. Kate Aaron Beatty flipped from another school. William Schmidt flipped from another school because they saw what was going on here. And then this summer in the portal, hugging Zach Cowan. Hugging Luis Hernandez, hugging Danny Dickinson, hugging Chris Stanfield. There was a 2.5 week run last year where it's man, I don't know how this is going to be. And then we had those guys. We got those guys. And I'm so proud of them for stepping into this thing and not being promised or guaranteed anything, given everything that they have. And it's just a true team. And I think that's what I'm the most proud of. And, 3 different collections of buckets where the players came from. One common theme, all winners. All winners.
Over here, Coach.
Jay got pinch hit for Josh in the 9th. What's that relationship been like between those two right fielders? And I guess to a bigger extent, what has Josh brought in kind of a mentorship role for the rest of the team this year?
Yeah, I think Jake had a phenomenal game tonight, too. Absolute difference maker. We felt like it was a good matchup for him tonight. Stuck him in the 4-hole and worked out great. And they're best friends. They appear to be best friends. Josh Pearson, he's one of my favorite players of all time. And it's a long list, but the only guy that's been here for 4 years. And like I said, it's roster deal can be a roller coaster nowadays, but the stability of that, I hit him clean up the first game of the year just because I knew what I was going to get. Huge game yesterday because you know what you're going to get. But he's taken a in the lineup and out of the lineup role and handled it like a champ. And you just heard his teammates talk about him. They're both great kids. This means something to them from being from here. And I really value that. And I'm sure happy we have both of them.
Front left here, Coach.
Hey, Jay. Corey Diaz with the USA Today Network and the Daily Advertiser. Spoke with Anthony and Kate on the field after the game. And you've talked a lot about their competitive edge. Neither particularly happy with their last outing. So how much of an advantage situation does that put you guys the next time you roll off the bus and they toe a rubber that they're going to be a little fueled by what they did last?
I'll take either of them on the mound any day of the week against anybody. And it's like that special character. Like yesterday I'm going Cade, you got us 7 innings. It's a really good team, by the way. And I would like to congratulate Coach Sabins in West Virginia on an outstanding season. He's a star. He'll be one of the best coaches in college. He's one of the best coaches in college baseball now in his first season. Buying stock in a program, buy it in West Virginia. But yeah, it's been I forgot the question. I'm sorry. Anthony and Cade. My wife's back there, probably the next two most important people in my life. I'll take them anytime, anywhere, and absolute winners. It's just a special competitor. Hey, we went out there, we won a super regional. That's win number 11. That's a small list in college baseball this year. Might be one. And to want more and to do more makes you proud as a coach. It's like, we don't play well, maybe, but win or play our best and win. And we're pushing that we're not getting validated by, what anybody says about us. We're not getting validated by even winning and losing, as crazy as that sounds. We're validated by how we play. And when your two best dudes are like that, unbelievable effect on the whole team.
Back here, coach, to the right.
Jay, John Sokoloff at WGNO in New Orleans. You were talking about Steven and how that was big-time stuff, what he was able to do these two games in these huge moments. You kind of alluded to it. How much do the other players in the lineup feed off what he's able to do at the plate, and what kind of effect does that have on others, you think?
Yeah, I think it does. I think he's one of those guys, when he's out at shortstop, you're paying attention to what happens because you might see something pretty awesome. And I feel like he has that presence in the box, even at 5'8". And really what he did is he just created runs for our team by his plate discipline and his ability to hit mistakes. He's on base all the time the last 2 weeks. He drove in 4 runs tonight. And it's changed our team. Like him playing to his full potential, playing to the blueprint that he needs to be the best player he can be, is the reason why we've taken off offensively. Or maybe, I wouldn't even say taken off, gotten back to maybe where we were, 34 games into this thing, largely because of his contribution. So they definitely do feed off it, but I also think it's really tangible with his plate zone discipline. He's on base and he's driving people in.
Michael, back left.
Jay, you were talking about hugging the players, in the portal, whatever. When I think of you, I think of intentionality, and tonight you were hugging all the parents, and you made an effort to really spend time with everybody that made this possible. I guess, could you speak to the payoff, like when you see those people and the trust they put into you to get their kids where they are and have it come to fruition?
Yeah, thanks for that question. And this is an awesome group. They're putting trust in you with the most important thing in their life. And it's more than just baseball. It's more than Bear hitting homers. Getting through the struggle. Like that's a lot goes into that. You guys see if he goes 3 for 4 or if he punches out a couple times. I see what he's willing to do to put together that night out there like that from a mental toughness standpoint, and then a baseball like physical adjustment. When I'm talking to this dude on the phone the first time I talked to him, and it's like, yes sir, and coach, and I will compete for you. If I end up coming to LSU, you will have the best competitor on the mound in college baseball, and I think we can all agree that my man has delivered. So I think it's just very grateful. And this is a cool team. Like it's and they're a direct reflection of their parents. And the Pearsons, they're unbelievable. These are two solidest guys you could have. It's Bill and Anna. That's where it comes from. And I feel that way about a lot of them. And just how it all kind of came together is pretty awesome. And it's a lot of work, man. It's a great place. We have a lot to offer. They don't just show up here anymore because everybody's investing in baseball because of Coach Burtman showed everybody what could be possible. So he made this a lot harder on me.
Jacques in the back. Couple more questions, Coach. Thanks for your time. Jacques in the back.
Just collectively, offensively, the crooked numbers yesterday, 3-run homer, 2 grand slams, Milam clears the bases tonight, Jake Brown. When the offense is rolling like that and your crowd is rolling, it seems like it's pretty impossible to beat.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I'll remember these 2 weeks forever. Last Monday night, staying with the team when we were down 5-1, and helping them stay energized, engaged in the game to be able to come back, and then making it hard on the opposing pitcher, and And tonight, I mean, we've flat out earned it in the second inning. There was 2 outs, nobody on base, and we went walk, walk, walk to set up double, and then added on from there with, 2 out hitting, really good offensive performance. And, I take a lot of pride in that. My side of the ball and 12 runs. And, I know what this program was built on. The gorilla ball and the homers in Omaha, they're a little harder to hit there now. But I know our fans like double-digit runs almost as much as their coach.
Chess in the back.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 here in Baton Rouge. Coach, this freshman class, you talked about it a little bit. You're not punching your ticket to Omaha without the performance of Case and Evans on Monday night, Cooper Williams tonight. How special is this freshman class?
Very special. And, those guys in particular, very different stories. Before he was working for us, Josh Simpson was a scout for the Rangers. He wasn't even hired. And so we were just talking through guys that were in the junior class in Texas, and he's like, Case and Evans. And I really respect Josh's ability to evaluate. That's why I brought him here. And I was like, okay, that's enough for me, and just started like on him. And it was a battle. I mean, it was like, you name it, he visited there. Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas A&M, TCU. I mean, it's like 6 weeks in a row. And I think he came to the football game where we got blasted by Tennessee. And I was like, this is not helping me out here, And then, he's had a couple more. And then in December of his junior year, he said, hey, I want to come back and chat with you. And that was awesome. We just were having lunch over at Walk-Ons and basically said he was coming here. And then Cooper, was committed to Texas A&M his whole high school career, and then they had the coaching change. And, we realized he had never signed a scholarship. So we obviously jumped right in there. We needed left-handed pitching, and he's awesome. I mean, he's both those guys got the it part of it. They got the it part of it. And that's the only way you can contribute in an environment like tonight. They have the talent, but they're the right people too. And makes me very optimistic about, the leadership of the pitching staff, going forward. And they'll be on a mound in Nebraska this time around, and I'm really excited about that.
Brett?
Hey, Jay, Brett Martell with AP. Big picture kind of college baseball Omaha question here. And slow me down if you need to. But of the 13 SEC teams that entered the tournament, are you surprised that not only are there only 2 left, but there'll be like 6 conferences represented 1 year after there was this narrative that NIL is going to make baseball so top heavy in favor of the power conferences?
I think we have the best league. I don't think it's close either. And I don't think 2 weeks of baseball changed that. I think LSU has a great team, and we earned our way there. I think Arkansas is a great team, and they earned their way there. And a lot of lost tough games, both home and on the road. But it's baseball. It's just, it's football and basketball, big, fast people beat little, fast people. In baseball, you have a pitcher that determines everything. And if a pitcher gets hot and, rolls through a game and puts a team in a loser's bracket, then you have the psychological warfare of you lose one game and your season's over. And 18 to 21-year-olds, unless they're trained properly, they're not built to deal with that all the time, and crazy stuff can happen. And so I think it's going to be awesome. I know we play Arkansas. That's one of the things that I always look at on the selection show day. It's like, okay, if we're there, who's it going to be? And I mean, no surprise. Like, they're the most talented team in America, And then I saw UCLA win, so they're on our side. Okay, a lot of games with Coach Savage, so that'll be fun. And then there's one more tomorrow to decide the other one. Is that right? Do I have that right? And then Coastal went back. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wildcats. Yeah, that's awesome. Chip Hales was really good to me when I was there, and I'm very happy for him and their team. And then Louisville, Dan McDonnell, great coach. And then who's the other one? Who won Florida State? Oregon State. All right. So 3 West Coast teams. I'll be right at home.
You got time for one more, Coach?
I'm good.
You're good?
Hey, we're going to Omaha. I'll stay here all night.
Well, there we go now.
Yeah.
I was on my limit, but you got it. You might have 2 more. There we go. Go ahead.
Coach Nick Castrelli, Daily Athenaeum, West Virginia. How much did you guys know about West Virginia ahead of the series, and what did you guys do to kind of put yourself in the best spot against their lineup and pitching staff?
Yeah, that's a great lineup. That's a great lineup. A couple of those left-handed hitters are really scary, and they're ultra competitive, and they obviously would not go away. And we knew the maturity. They were in this position last year at North Carolina, and I feel like they used their experience well, had a great season, Big 12 champions. And then on the pitching side of it, there obviously was something to Kern. Like, we really had to grind hard with how we were going to approach him yesterday. And I thought our guys did a great job. And then Carstonis, every once in a while, guy has an off night. And I think that was actually more of our hitters doing a really good job. Like, we just didn't expand the zone on him in a way that maybe other teams had, and just really put him on the hook a little bit. And then our crowd got into it. And then Chase Meyer came in and did a great job tonight. He's really, really talented pitcher. But like I said, Coach Saban's he's a star. They're going to be on the rise. And, I don't know their roster as far as who's coming back and not, but nothing but respect for the Mountaineers.
Introduce yourself, because you're going to wrap up the last question. They're going to Omaha, but you get it, so it's your question. Go ahead.
Coach, two innings scored and then 4 scoreless innings, and then you come back and score 6 in the 6th inning. I mean, what kind of energy did you see, and what kind of shift, and all of a sudden?
Yeah, I think it was the game, baseball. Like, we got off to a great start, scored 6. They made a pitching change, went to Chase Meyer. I mean, he's throwing 97 with a hammer breaking ball. Really talented young man. But I felt like, and you have to, because they're in a winner-go-home game, they were extending his pitch count maybe longer than he had. And we were hitting the ball pretty hard. Like, we lined out several times, kind of had some tough luck. Guys didn't get discouraged. And then I think we finally kind of got tired. Well, Cooper went out and got us the quick inning. So he had to go back out there quicker than he had previously. And then I thought we took advantage of that with free bases. And then huge hit by Chris Stanfield. And that was a tough one. And he's been unbelievable. What an unbelievable season. But I actually thought about pinch hitting right there, because the sidearm guys, left-handers, are way better matchups. But I just had a good feeling like he has hit these kind of guys well. And I felt like he was focused, and he's taken great at-bats for several games in a row, regional, super regional. And I think that was huge. And then, Derek, stealing second, and then we got the error, and then Jake Brown 2-run homer. It was a great inning, and proud of our guys for just grinding it out against a really good team.
Coach, thanks for giving us the extra time. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck in Omaha.
All right.
We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys.
Thanks, everybody. We look forward to